I just found out that it's Fire Safety Week, so I thought I'd do a little fire safety project. This project is very simple, and it could save your life. I have a 1x8 piece of pine that's 14 inches long. Got my little quick corners. So I'm going to put a radius on the inside of every corner. I'm using a 1-inch radius? Yeah. So we'll cut those off with the bandsaw and then come back. So we got our corners cut off and sanded. Now I'm going to go over to the router and just give it a little rounded profile. We got the rounded profile on here, so now you spray it with a color of your choice, preferably like a silver or a red, because that's like fireman colors. I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum hammered. Alright, so while we're waiting for that spray paint to dry, I thought I'd have a little fun on the lathe. I got a little, I don't know, this looks like it's 1.5 by 1.5 piece of oak. And what I'm going to do is make a little knob, and you'll see why when we put it on the project. I need a little support on the end to keep this from vibrating a little bit, so I'm just going to bring up the tailstock, give it a little bit of pressure. Put a little list on there. I decided to leave a little tenon on there. I'm thinking that I could just drill a hole and then stick the knob in. Alright, so the paint's pretty much dry. What I'm going to do is come down 1.5 inches from the end, make a mark, and then we're going to find the center. This is 8 inches, so it should be 4. So I got a little center mark. Now I'm just going to drill a 9/32 hole because that's how big my tenon ended up. Perfect. Let's get some CA glue in there. And now we're going to put the finishing touches on so you can see what we're doing here. And remember, fire safety is important, and you're going to find out how to protect yourself. Okay, here we go. I went over to the computer and I printed out this. We're going to take this. I printed it on the label stuff. So I'm just going to center this right underneath. And then we have this and this. There you go. The Redneck fire detector. Okay, and here to tell us the proper procedures for fire safety and whether or not this is something that you'd want to have in your shop to prevent a fire from spreading, I got myself a fireman. See what he thinks.
Well, Keith, by the time this were deployed, you would be completely engulfed in flame. You'd probably be burned to a cinder of ashes, and this would in no way protect you from a fire. You'd probably die long before that of smoke inhalation. In no way can I, as a valid fireman, endorse such a product.
That doesn't sound very good, but boy is it fun and tasty. So after making this, I was really curious as to what a firefighter would think, so I made a phone call, and I got myself a firefighter.
I'll tell you, Keith, when I'm done fighting fires, I'm often looking for a snack. The Redneck fire detector, that's just the thing.
So I found myself a firefighter.
When we responded to the great mobile home fire of '62, the Redneck fire detector was the only thing to survive.
You can't take it seriously. And the voice. The Redneck fire detector was the only thing to survive.
Isn't that the right fireman voice?
Hold on. I thought it might be a good idea before I endorse a product like this to test it out. So let's try out the Redneck fire detector. And just to be safe, I got myself a fireman.
We're standing by. All right, so I think you got what you need.
Oh no. Stop laughing at you. Okay. So while we have been discussing the Redneck fire detector and its validity in a real fire and an emergency, we think that this is definitely the kind of thing that you're going to want to have in your shop.
I can't take any more of this.